Hello movie lovers, Bob for Bob's movie review here, and today I'm bringing you my Blu-ray and DVD collection update for January 2019. Be sure to click subscribe and click on the bell icon to be notified whenever I upload great new content. If you do enjoy the video, be sure to show it some love and give it a like rating. So remember, I am showing priority to all the titles that were sent to me for review first, and then we'll talk about all my purchases second, and we're gonna go in order by who sent me the most titles. So first up, we have Mill Creek Entertainment, and first up is Dogs on the Job. This is a documentary about dogs, and I did post an unboxing and review of this. I thought this was fun and interesting. If you guys like dogs, I think you'll definitely be into it. It kind of goes into all these different aspects of dogs. It's pretty obvious, I think. Next up, they sent me over The Karate Kid Part 3 and The Next Karate Kid. I had never seen either of these movies, and I thought they were both okay. I wasn't super into either, but I've never really been into The Karate Kid. Karate Kid 3 has Daniel-san and Mr. Miyagi opening a bonsai store. And then The Next Karate Kid has Mr. Miyagi training Jennifer Gardner. They also sent me over a bunch of these VHS style slipcovers, and I do have unboxings and reviews of all of these up. They released 6 of them. They're going to have 4 more in February. Hopefully I'll be bringing you guys some more information on those soon. So first up, we have Silent Rage with Chuck Norris, where there's this guy who's killed. These doctors bring him back with this experimental serum, and he kind of becomes this unkillable Hulk-like monster, and Chuck Norris has to defeat him. Next up is Hard Bodies. I had never heard of this one, and it's kind of like a teen sex comedy thing where there's these 3 middle-aged guys who go to the beach to kind of meet women, and they're not really having a lot of luck, and so they hire this younger guy to teach them how to kind of get in good with the ladies. It's an okay movie. Not a lot of substance to it, obviously, but definitely interesting. I had never seen this one, Krull. This one's kind of an adventure movie where this prince marries this princess, and these people, or whatever they were, I think were from another planet, come and they kill like everybody, and they kidnap the princess, and he has to kind of put together this group of people to go find her and rescue her, and they go on this adventure where they have to go across a long journey, and they meet kind of all these really weird people along the way, and they have to pass these tests and stuff. Definitely an interesting movie. Next up is Who's Harry Crumb with John Candy. He plays a PI who's kind of like a bumbling, stumbling moron, but he just kind of stumbles into all the clues. It was an okay movie. I felt like it was just a little too silly for my liking. Last Action Hero with Arnold Schwarzenegger. This one, for some reason, is one of his least popular movies. It's about this kid who gets this magical ticket, and he gets taken into the newest Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. And for some reason, when he's there, instead of like playing along or having fun, he decides to convince Arnold Schwarzenegger it's all just a movie. And then the villain and Arnold end up coming out of the movie and fighting in the real world. My only issue with this movie is it really kind of blurs the line, or walks the line, of parody and action comedy. But I think it's a fun movie. And last up is Happy Birthday to Me. This is a slasher where like I think it was the 10 or whatever most popular kids in the college are like in this group, and they're getting picked off one by one. Lots of like false clues to try to point you in different directions. But I thought it was a fun movie for sure. Next up, from Wild Eye Releasing, I got Sheborg. This was a really cool movie that I really enjoyed, about this alien who crash lands on Earth. And it's kind of, you know, obviously supposed to be like the Borg from Star Trek. And she kind of starts making people part robots so they can help her call in reinforcements. And this group of teenagers has to stop her. It's kind of a comedy, action, sci-fi, horror, has a little bit of everything, and I thought this was a really fun movie. Remember, all these I do have unboxings and reviews on all these. Cold Ground. This one was about this group of people who are investigating these like animal mutilations and animal disappearances in the French mountains, and they're trying to get to this research base or something, and they have to just walk through the snow a lot. This movie kind of reminded me a lot of the Blair Witch Project, as it is a group of people just walking through the woods, found footage style, and it's mostly them just walking a lot. I thought this was an interesting movie. My only issue with it really was that it was too similar to the Blair Witch Project, and also you never get a good clean look at these things. I don't want to give away too much, but definitely an interesting movie. If you guys are fans of the Blair Witch Project, I think you guys would like this one. Book of Evil. This was about this guy who was writing this book, but I think it's like a collection of short horror stories. And so you have these small parts that he's acting out, and then it goes into the stories. It was a low budget film for sure, but I felt like the stories were interesting. There was one that I really liked where it was one of those kind of fall or Halloween farm things that they went to. They didn't show a lot of it, but I definitely enjoyed that one the most. The League of Superheroes. This video, my review may not be up yet for this one, but this was definitely a strange movie where it was actually about, like, they had a superhero for every letter, and they were really weird and some were really crude, and it was just really quick little 2-3 minute videos on each superhero, and then at the end they kind of come together. From Lionsgate, I got The Oath. I was very surprised at this movie. Some other people, Cool Duder, had recommended it. In fact, I think he put this on like his top movies of 2018. I got a little bit into it and I was like, wow, this was one of your top movies. It does end up being a really great movie. It has a really slow start, but it ends up being really great, where this president asks all the Americans to sign this oath, and Ike Barinholtz's character doesn't want to sign it, and these guys come in to kind of like take him in and things just escalate quickly and it gets really crazy. Really interesting movie, a fun, tense, has it all. Speed Kills with John Travolta. I've heard a lot of people complaining, oh, this isn't John Travolta's best. Well, obviously not. He's way past his prime. And the story isn't something particularly new, but I did enjoy this movie. It's about this guy, Ben Aronoff, who becomes It's about this guy, Ben Aronoff, who was in the mob, and he kind of loses, and the mob kind of loses their foothold, and he moves to Miami to reinvent himself, and he becomes a speedboat racer. Unfortunately, he ends up needing the help of some unsavory types, and it kind of comes back to haunt him for the rest of his life. I thought this was a cool movie. Definitely enjoyed the story. Very well produced movie. There was one scene though where they're like racing out in the ocean, and just everything looks completely fake and terrible. I don't know why they even tried it. But I enjoyed this one myself. And there is an unboxing and review of this up. Also, Best Friends Volume 1 and 2 from Tommy Wiseau and Greg Sestero. This was a strange movie from the guys who brought you The Room, about this guy who's a mortician and this other homeless guy, and they become friends, and they kind of get this money scheme, and then they kind of turn on each other. And then the second one is trying to like open this safe, and there's a whole bunch of people you can't really trust. And I thought these were fun movies. Definitely, this is 2 movies, volumes 1 and 2. I enjoyed them. I haven't seen The Room, but I thought these movies were fun. You know, they weren't great. It was a little weird, but definitely fun movies, and I would recommend these for sure. From Paramount, I got Here and Now with Sarah Jessica Parker. She plays a singer who finds out she has cancer, and she has to decide whether she wants to kind of live out her life for the short amount of time she has left, or if she wants to go through chemo and surgery and not have much time left, but it could seriously alter her life and her music career. And this movie just follows her along that day, her final day, and kind of her reaction. The only issue I had with this one is that she doesn't do much to react to it. I don't know if she's in shock and denial or what it is, but if your movie is going to be her reaction to that day, she should probably react a little more. I did enjoy the story though. I thought this was a pretty good movie. It wasn't one of my favorites, but I did definitely enjoy the movie. And the last thing that was sent to me from Dark Sky Films, we have The Dark. First time I watched this movie, I thought it was kind of strange. Second time, I enjoyed it a little more. I think I was a little more prepared for what was going to happen. This kid is kidnapped, and I don't know what happened to him. I don't think they get into it exactly, but he's blinded, and he's taken out to the woods, and there's like this ghost or some kind. It's hard to explain exactly what happens, but there's this girl out there, and she ends up kind of rescuing him, and a really strange movie with a really strange ending, but I think it's a really cool one. Definitely worth checking out. So that's everything that was sent to me. Now for my pickups. I did pick up The Nun on Blu-ray. Several retailers had this down to $10. I was wanting to get the 4K version, but I really couldn't pass up $10. There haven't really been any deals, I don't think, on the 4K. So I decided to go ahead and pick up the Blu-ray. I rewatched this one. I did review this one when it was in theaters. This movie kind of has a split from fans. Some people liked it, some didn't. I definitely liked it. I thought it was a cool movie, but there's definitely people who said this is the worst one yet. I also picked up Goosebumps 2 on 4K. I definitely didn't like this one as much as the original. I thought it was okay. I didn't like the cast as much. I didn't like the story as much. You know, it is a sequel, so I guess that's to be expected. But I do have an unboxing of this, and I did review it when it was in theaters. I finally picked up Creed on 4K. I love this movie. I'm looking forward to Creed 2. This is kind of the continuation of the Rocky story with Apollo Creed's son and Sylvester Stallone as his trainer. Great movie. I think I posted my unboxing of this. I might not have a review up of this though. Also picked up The Yellowbirds. I thought this one looked really cool. I don't think I've posted anything on it yet though, and I haven't seen it. I decided to pick up The First Purge on 4K. This is another movie that really had a split from fans of the series. Some people loving it and some people hating it. To me, it was the best one of the franchise. This was what I thought of when I heard The Purge, and I thought it was a really cool movie. I do have a review up of this, but I'm sure I have an unboxing of the Steelbook, but I don't believe of this one yet. I bought this one from Epic Pictures. This is Dry Blood, number 11 in their series with Dread Central Presents. This one was a little strange about this guy who goes up into the mountains to a cabin to get clean from drugs. And when he's up there, all these really strange things happen, and there's a sheriff antagonizing him, and he kind of thinks the sheriff might be a serial killer, and his girlfriend comes up to visit him, and it gets really crazy, and I had to ask somebody else too what they thought of the ending, because I wasn't sure exactly what they were going for. It has one of those endings that's a little bit left up for interpretation. A really slow beginning to this one, but if you guys could make it through it, it ends up being quite worth it in the end. There's an unboxing and review of this one up. Also picked up from RLJE Films, All the Creatures Were Stirring. This was a horror Christmas anthology that came out in December, but then they released the Blu-ray for some reason in January. And I did review it when it came out on digital. I really enjoyed it. I thought this was a cool anthology, cool horror Christmas, just kind of cool all around. It had this really great first story about this deadly game of Yankee Swap or White Elephant or whatever you want to call it, where you like steal people's gifts and what. And then there were some other ones. There was a Rudolph one or a Prancer or something I didn't care for as much, but I liked most of the stories on this. If I didn't mention, there should already be an unboxing of this up, and like I said, I did review it before too. I was very excited to pick up Hellfest. I did review this one when it was in theaters, and I did post an unboxing of this 4K version. This movie, I think it might have had a split of more people disliking than liking. I think the issue was the killer was a little weak, the story was a little weak, but I love this movie. It's about this haunted Hellfest place where these kids go, and somebody who's appears to be an actor is stalking them, and everybody's kind of getting killed off one by one. I thought it was a lot of fun. I love these kind of haunted attraction movies, so that was probably what I liked most about it. I haven't got around to rewatching it, but I am really wanting to. I love this movie. Best Buy had a great deal on Black Klansman, so I went ahead and picked this one up. I haven't watched it yet, and I haven't posted anything on it yet either. They had Skyscraper down pretty cheap. I already own this one, but I have the Steelbook version, and I went ahead and picked up the regular 4K version because it was cheap enough. I love this artwork. I feel like this was the best artwork they used for the movie. I keep my Steelbooks in a separate location, so this one's easier to keep in the house. I may have posted my unboxing of this, and I definitely posted the unboxing of the Steelbook, and I did review it when it was in theaters. Also picked up Bad Times at the El Royale. This was kind of a long movie, really, about this motel called the El Royale. And all these people end up staying there, and they kind of all have secrets, and the motel has a secret. And it's kind of just all this crazy stuff happens. I did post an unboxing and a review separately on this one. I enjoyed the movie. I just wish it had been a little shorter, and I think there were definitely things they could have done to cut the runtime, but it's definitely a fun movie, and I would highly recommend it. Also picked up Night School. I decided to just pick this one up on Blu-ray to save a little bit of money, and I wasn't too worried about having this one on 4K. In this one, Kevin Hart has to go back to school to earn his high school degree because he dropped out of high school and he could get this new job, but he needs a high school degree first. I was surprised how much I liked this one. It was pretty funny. It was a good story, good supporting cast as well. The supporting cast may have been funnier than Kevin Hart in this one, but I did post an unboxing and review of this one. He kind of just gets into all these, Kevin Hart hijinks. I think this was a standard Kevin Hart movie, but I would recommend it. I picked up First Man on 4K. I did review this one when it was in theaters, and I did post an unboxing of this one. This is the story of Neil Armstrong and the Apollo 11 and the landing on the moon. It is a really great movie. Highly recommend this one. I picked up the Halloween 4K Steelbook. Now, I did post an unboxing of this, and you guys requested me to review it. I've recorded it. I haven't posted it yet. But this is it takes away all the sequels to the original Halloween, and then this is like basically Halloween 2, I guess. I don't know. A lot of people really love this one. I was not a big fan of it. Picked up Slender Man, the greatest... Just kidding. I haven't watched it. I haven't posted anything on it. It was cheap, so I picked it up. I picked up Castle Rock Season 1. I haven't started this one yet. It's kind of like J.J. Abrams and Stephen King. It's supposed to be pretty good. Picked up Fuller House Season 3. I don't think I've posted anything on this one yet. I haven't watched it. You guys know what Fuller House is. My lone pawn shop find, I got the Hulk Hogan Ultimate Anthology. It was like $5 or $6. I was there, so I had to buy something. I'm not necessarily like a big Hulk Hogan fan. I don't think he's like a great actor or wrestler, but you have to really respect a guy who became so big. He was beyond wrestling, and a guy who could become the most famous, well-known wrestler of all time with really no wrestling ability. Like, it's kind of amazing what he did. I think all the rest are my dollar store finds, so I'll just go through these really quick. Easy A, never seen it. The Power of Few, never seen it. Hercules Reborn, never seen it. I don't think I've seen any of these. Frost Nixon, Missing in Action 2, the beginning. Shouldn't the first one be the beginning? The Marine 3, Beyond the Lights, Trans-Siberian, Walking with Dinosaurs, Enough Said, About Last Night. Hey, that's a Kevin Hart movie. Vanishing on 7th Street. Stoker. Take Me Home Tonight. Tekken 2. Honeymoon in Vegas. Hearts War. And Oranges. And then I have a stack of DVDs that I also picked up at Family Dollar. Green Lantern. Emerald Knights. Justice League, Gods and Monsters. Flintstones, Stone Age Smackdown. It's a wrestling crossover. Son of Batman. Scooby-Doo, Mystery Incorporated Volume 3. Scooby-Doo, Mystery Incorporated Volume 1. Scooby-Doo and the Circus Monsters, Jetsons Robo WrestleMania wrestling crossover, Eloise, Snowmen, Take This Waltz, we're almost there, Christmas Trade, Daylight's End, The Extra Man, and the Batman Superman movie. So that's it. Whew. Ton of titles. I'm not done yet. I just got these ones. I haven't done anything with them yet. The Nutcracker and the Four Realms. This is the Best Buy exclusive 4K Steelbook, Hunter Killer 4K Steelbook, and Slice on DVD. By the time this video goes up, these unboxings should be up, but I've never seen these movies, so I don't really have anything to say about them. But I really hope you guys did enjoy this video. I'd love to hear what you guys picked up, what you guys thought of any of these movies. Did you guys have any Dollar Tree finds? I did post a video on all those Dollar Tree finds. A lot of these movies I do have unboxings or reviews of, so you guys could always search for those on my channel. Hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, please be sure to show it some love and give it a like rating. If you haven't already, subscribe for more videos, check the chess videos, check out my website, bobsmoviereview.com, and I'll see you guys next time.